Good morning students. In this video I am going to explain about the Josephson effect. In previous lectures we already completed the definitions of superconductivity, critical current density, transition temperature and also properties of superconductors, that is a persistent current and the Meissner effect, and also we completed the type 1 and type 2 superconductors. In this video we are going to discuss about the Josephson effect, that is having wide applications using the superconducting materials. We need to understand what is this superconducting Josephson effect. So we already know that the superconductivity is produced due to the formation of Cooper pairs. We studied the BCS theory. According to BCS theory, in superconductors, the Cooper pairs will develop. That Cooper pairs is the main responsible for the high current flow or high conductivity in the superconductivity materials. So the Cooper pairs is nothing but two electrons form a group, forms a pair that will these electrons, these pair of electrons will flow as pair itself only throughout the superconducting material, that is said to be the Cooper pairs. Here Josephson is effect is nothing but two superconductors are joined using a insulating material. This insulating material is having the thickness more than 10 nanometers. So what will happen if the superconductors are joined using a insulating materials? These Cooper pairs are having high energy, can easily, it is observed that these Cooper pairs easily tunnel through the insulating layer and will travel to the other side of the, will travel to the second superconductor. So the Cooper pairs easily transfer through the insulating material. These the wave function, we can observe that the wave function of Cooper pairs. So if you observe the wave function of the first wave function in the first superconductor and the wave function in the second superconductor, there is a phase difference. That phase difference is said to be the phi. The phase difference is introduced between the Cooper pairs of the wave functions in both the superconductors after traveling through the insulating material. That phase difference can be calculated using the change in the energy of the Cooper pairs. We can easily understand like this. According to de Broglie, if a material particle is moving, a wave will produce. That wave is having the particular all wave properties like wavelength, this phase difference, path difference, and wavelength. These are all properties are exhibited by that particular wave. Here, if you calculate the energies of wave in the first superconductor and the second superconductor, that will be having, there is a change in the phase difference. Phase difference is observed changes in the traveling after traveling through the insulating material, and these Cooper pairs will easily tunnel through this barrier. A huge number of Cooper pairs will travel from one superconductor to another superconductor. It is observed that a high current flow will be produced in this type of arrangement. When you join two superconductors with a insulating material, a huge number of Cooper pairs will travel through that barrier from one side to another side, from first to second and second to first superconductors. Due to that, what will happen, the high conductivity will be possible. That type of current flow is said to be the supercurrent. And the second point is observed that there is a changes in the energies of the Cooper pairs also. After traveling through the insulating material, there are the changes in the energies of the Cooper pairs and also changes in the phase difference of the Cooper pairs. Phase difference is nothing but the wave functions introduces a phase difference after traveling through the insulating material. That phase difference is said to be the phi. So if we any voltage, if we are not supplying any external source or any voltage is not applied here, even though external voltage is zero, applied voltage is zero, the Cooper pairs easily tunnel through this insulating material and will travel to the second superconductor. And observed that a high current flow is possible in this type of superconductors. So that is said to be the DC Josephson effect. That supercurrent can be measured using this equation, that is 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 equal to Ic into sin phi. Ic is nothing but a critical current of the superconductor material, that depends on the type of the superconductor materials. Phi is the phase difference. So here under the zero voltage conditions, here what will happen, the Cooper pairs easily tunnel through the barriers and introduces a phase difference between the wave functions describing the Cooper pairs before crossing the barrier and after crossing the barrier. That phase difference changes is said to be the phi, and the energies of the Cooper pair also observed a lot of change after traveling through the barrier. Here the second type of the this phenomena is said to be the AC Josephson effect. In this type of arrangement, here we are applying some voltage. Here already in previous case we joined the two superconductors using the insulating material and observed that a huge number of electrons are traveling from one side to another side due to having of high energy of the Cooper pairs. They easily travels from one superconductor to another superconductor and observed a supercurrent in this type of arrangement. If you supply an external voltage, that is said to be the AC Josephson effect. The DC voltage is applied to the across the Josephson junction. It introduces an additional phase on the Cooper pairs during the tunneling. So we already know that the phase difference is introduced when that Cooper pairs travel from one superconductor to another superconductor, and the wave is having the phase difference from compared to the first superconductor and the second one. Here also we are supplying the DC voltage to this arrangement. We are supplying the DC voltage to this arrangement. Then what will happen? This voltage gives an extra energy to the Cooper pairs to tunnel through the barrier and observed an additional phase difference in the an additional phase difference of the Cooper pairs. That is having phi is the phase difference between the Cooper pairs of the first superconductor and the second superconductor. Here the additional phase difference introduced due to the application of the external voltage is said to be the delta phi. Here the above here also the same thing we can observe due to the flowing of Cooper pairs from first superconductor to second superconductor. A high current or supercurrent is produced in that arrangement. That supercurrent can be measured using this formula: Is is equal to Ic sin phi. Here the phase difference is additional phase difference is introduced due to the changes in the external force or external voltage, that is phi plus delta phi. Here that supercurrent is can be measured Ic sin phi plus delta phi. Ic is the critical current density, and because of the DC voltage, the energies of Cooper pairs on both sides of the barrier differ in the energies of by 2 electron volts. If we can measure the changes in the energies of the Cooper pairs to measure the changes in the wave function or phase difference, the energies will differ by the 2 electron volts. Using the quantum mechanical calculations, by using that principle, delta phi can be calculated using this formula. No particular derivation for this formula, we can easily remember like this: the phase changes in the phase difference by the addition of the uh, applied voltage. By applying the external voltage, that is delta phi is equal to pi t 2 v upon h. Thus the alternating current across the junction is given by. So when this additional phase difference is produced, the current flow will be produced in the form of cycles. That alternating current is produced. That alternating current can be measured using this formula. That alternating current frequency given by nu is equal to electron volts upon h. This frequency only depends on the applied voltage. This effect is known as the AC effect. A frequency of alternating current does not depends on the dimensions of superconductors. Also the frequency does not depends on the properties of superconductors. Only it depends on the applied voltage. So we already observed that the AC current will flow by applying the external DC voltage. This type of effect is said to be the alternating current Josephson effect. So that alternating current quantity can be measured using this principle, and this alternating current depends on the only does not depends on the dimensions of superconductor. It does not depends on the properties of superconductors also. It depends on only external applied voltage. So this Josephson effect is uh, next one is the squids or superconducting quantum interference devices. These are the application of the Josephson effect, or we can apply that Josephson phenomena in this type of devices. Squids are the type of devices used to measure the small changes in magnetic flux. So they can easily determine the changes in magnetic flux produced. That can easily measure the small changes up to the order of 10 power minus 18 Tesla. This working is based on the superconducting loops containing the Josephson junctions. So using the superconducting materials, we can form the loops by adding a insulating material or by creating the Josephson junctions. So we can understand the working and construction of these quids from this diagram. So here the squids are having two types of squids are there. One is the direct current squids and the radio frequency squids. These two are categorized depends on the number of Josephson junctions. A radio frequency squid is made up of only one Josephson junction, which is mounted on a superconducting ring, and second one is squid consists of the two Josephson junctions in parallel, which is more sensitive. So here it is, radio frequency one is the example here. The construction is we can understand from here. Squids are usually made up of niobium or lead type of materials. So lead superconductor is used in this here. A tunnel barrier is developed here. Here two Josephson junctions are developed using a insulating material, and a superconductor is developed in the form of ring. Here what will happen? The current is applied here, that is said to be the biasing current. This is AC Josephson phenomena is observed here. A schematic of two junctions DC squid is shown figure. It consists of the two Josephson junctions arranged in parallel. Here two junctions are arranged in parallel. What will happen? We are supplying some current here. That current is said to be the biasing current. This total superconductor is formed in the form of ring to develop a loop. Here two junctions are developed using a thin insulating material. So working can be understood from this diagram. So a constant DC current is supplied here, that is said to be the biasing current. That the current will enter from the arm C. The current will enter from the point C. It is divided into the from here. The current is dividing into the two paths, that is along A and B will travel through the that electrons will travel through the that high current or the current in the superconductor will travel through this tunnel at just at the junction P, and the second path from B the current I2 will travel through the junction Q. So after traveling through this, the phase difference is observed and the changes in the voltage is also observed. A superconductor which is carrying current will behave like a magnet, and the magnetic flux will be developed here. Here we can observe here the working is mainly the current will given here the points C and D. That current will travel from the points junctions P and Q. The additional path difference will be phase difference is added here at the points P and Q, and those two currents traveling after traveling from P and Q it will merge at the point D, and in this loop the high magnetic fields will be developed. That magnetic field is considered as B. The voltage changes, the magnetic flux which is developed here depends on the voltage here, the voltage at the points C and D. The voltage variations, if you calculate the voltage variations at the points C and D, we can easily calculate the variations in the magnetic flux. By measuring the voltage here the points C and D, we can easily calculate the changes in the magnetic flux, that we can easily observe the changes in the material. So we can understand from here, in the absence of the magnetic field in a superconductor, a single wave function describes all the Cooper pairs. The wave function experiences a after traveling from the junctions P and Q, as we already know, there is a changes in the phase or additional phase difference is introduced here. If the magnetic field is zero, if the current is 0, the phase difference across the P and Q is 0, and in the presence of magnetic field, the additional phase difference is introduced in this, and the magnetic flux is developed. The high current is also flows. That the total current through the parallel Josephson junctions, that is I1 plus I2, combinedly merges at a point can be calculated from this equation. It is equal to 2 into I naught sine delta naught into cos E phi upon H cross into C. The voltage across the Josephson junction oscillates with the changes in the phase at the two junctions. The voltage depends on the changes in the flux. So as I already told, by calculating voltage across the two junctions, we can easily measure the changes in the magnetic flux which we already want to measure. Here the main purpose of this device is to calculate the changes in the magnetic flux. So squids can easily detect extremely small magnetic field of the order of 10 power minus 15 Webers or 10 power minus 11 Tesla. This sensitivity can further increase using a flux transformer. So what are the main applications of this type of squids? So squids are a type of devices. sensitive magnetometers mainly used in the medical field for the different type of scans. First one is the MEG scan. This is also said to be magnetoencephalography. So this is a type of scan used to understand the brain activities. The brain activities produces the nerves in the brain produces a small magnetic field of 10 power minus 4 Tesla. By calculating, by observing the brain activities or the magnetic field produced by that, we can easily understand uh, the formation of the any blocks or holes in the brain. And the human heart also produces a feeble magnetic field of the order of 10 power minus 14 Tesla, can also be detected using these quids. And second point is the using MRI scans. So MRI scans, also known as the nuclear magnetic resonance imaging, is a scanning technique for creating detailed images of the human body. So uses a strong magnetic fields and radio waves to generate the images of parts of the body that cannot seen with the X-ray, CT scans or ultrasound. Here, water molecules in human body contains hydrogen nuclei. An MRI scan applies a very strong magnetic field which aligns the proton spins. The alignment of spin can be detected by the squids. So here using MRI scan also uses the squids. Uh, MRI scan also uses these squids. Using the MRI scan, we can easily scan every part of the body. Using the proton spins, we can understand the magnetic field produced by our body using applying a strong magnetic field. And in the non-destructive testing, here without destroying the material, we can easily identify the defects produced in that and corrosion produced in that device. Using these squids type of devices and oil prospecting, presence of oil fields in a particular area of the earth core also we can easily determine by understanding the magnetic field produced from that area. And earthquake protection can be using the changes in earth magnetism. By observing the changes in the earth magnetic field using the squids, we can easily identify the earthquake prediction and minerals present in the earth core. And also geothermal energy changes in the uh, thermal energy of the earth also we can easily understand using the these squids of type of devices by observing the changes in the magnetic field produced from that particular area. Thank you so much. This is about the Josephson effect and the squids. We will see the applications and numericals, which is the last lecture for this fifth unit. Thank you so much.